Something really interesting I stumbled upon recently, this new podcast is called Papcast,
Oh, yeah.
hosted by Paulo Porto. He's, well, apparently a big name in high-end hospitality.
Hmm.
And what really hooked me is the premise.
Okay.
It's all about digging into those sort of unseen things, the elements behind the scenes that actually have a huge impact on service quality, often invisible.
Yeah, Papcast, Paulo Porto. Right. Yes, he definitely has deep expertise in crafting those really exceptional experiences. So the idea is basically uncovering what really makes customers satisfied, even the subtle stuff.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
From what we've seen, and looking at the first episode specifically, the core concept seems to be, well, that top-tier excellence isn't just about the big, obvious gestures.
Right.
It's more rooted in truly getting what the client feels, even when you don't see it. It's quite a thought, isn't it? How much feeling is shaped by things you don't directly observe.
It is. It really reframes things, suggests that, the customer's overall feeling starts forming way before anyone even says hello. Think about walking into a place, the smell, maybe? The background music. Is it just noise, or is it chosen carefully? These things are communicating, like, subconsciously.
Totally. That first hit is so much more than just what you see. It's this whole sensory package. And wasn't there an example in the material about a hotel guest?
Ah, yes, that one. The guest who gave, like, a top rating for their stay, even though they barely interacted with any staff.
Right.
Which makes you ask, okay, so what did create that great experience then?
It definitely makes you pause and reconsider what good service even means. It's almost like the place itself, the feeling of care baked into the environment was doing the talking. Unspoken attentiveness, maybe?
Which leads perfectly into this concept they explore on Papcast, something they call silent hospitality. It's a really fresh angle on delivering great service.
Silent hospitality. Okay, yeah, let's dig into that. What's the main idea there?
Well, it kind of moves away from, showy, obvious service acts. Instead, it's more about a subtle approach, really watching, anticipating what a guest might need before they even have to say it.
I get it. So, were there concrete examples of this silent hospitality in the material? Like, what does it actually look like?
Like, there are some good ones. Things like, imagine your water bottle in the room being replaced quietly just before it's totally empty.
Okay.
Or a staff member just making genuine eye contact when you walk by, acknowledging you without being intrusive. Or maybe fresh towels appearing without you ever being disturbed. They're not flashy things.
No, definitely understated.
Yeah.
But, like the material pointed out, those are often the things you remember, right? They
Yeah.
feel thoughtful, considered.
Exactly. And that's key. This isn't about just, ticking boxes on a checklist or following a script word for word.
Right.
It's more about fostering a real sensitivity and empathy for what that specific person might need or feel. This sort of invisible layer of care.
Okay, so how does this actually work on the ground in practice? The material seemed to break it down into, what, 3 main pathways?
That's right, yeah. 3 core ways this silent hospitality takes shape. The first one they talked about is the silent presence of the team.
Silent presence. What does that actually involve?
It's about how staff, carry themselves in the space, their posture, their general vibe. The idea is to seem available, attentive, but without making guests feel like they're constantly being watched or sort of crowded.
Okay.
They use this great phrase, estar sem pesar. It means something like being present without weighing down the atmosphere, like being there if needed, but not getting in the way.
Estar sem pesar. I like that. Being present without weighing things down. But couldn't that backfire? Couldn't come across as aloof or just indifferent?
That's a really fair question. And yeah, it's a fine line. It demands, well, good training, obviously, but also what they called sintonia fina.
Sintonia fina?
Yeah, like a fine-tuned sensitivity to the specific situation. It's not about being passive. It's an active but quiet awareness, reading the room, knowing when to step forward and when to just give space.
That makes sense. It's nuanced. Okay, and the second path they identified.
The second one was the ritualization of detail. This bit I found really fascinating, especially thinking about the psychology of it.
Ritualization of detail.
Yeah.
Tell me more. What's that about?
It's about consciously creating these consistent, small gestures, things that almost become a signature of the place.
Like what, for instance?
Well, maybe there's a very specific, elegant way the towels are always folded. every single time. Or perhaps subtle shifts in the ambient music at certain times a day, predictably, even a particular pleasant scent that you start associating with that place.
Ah, okay. So it's more than just having standard operating procedures. It's about turning these little details into rituals, almost.
Yeah.
Things that create positive feelings, maybe even subconsciously.
Precisely. That consistency turns a simple detail into something reassuring, a ritual, and these little reliable positive moments add up, boosting that overall feeling of being cared for.
Interesting.
And then the third path, which is maybe the most deeply human element, is emotional training.
Emotional training. Okay. What's the focus there?
This is about training staff to actually notice and respond with sensitivity to really subtle emotional cues from customers. Like noticing a faint sigh maybe, or someone looking a bit tired or stressed, or even just a tiny hesitation when they're about to ask for something. Picking up on that micro level stuff.
Right. Those nonverbal signals that are easy to miss. And why focus on that? What's the thinking?
Well, the idea is basically preventative. If a small negative feeling, even just mild annoyance or fatigue, goes unnoticed or unaddressed, it could potentially grow into actual dissatisfaction later on.
Ah, I see.
So this is about proactively managing the emotional temperature, making people feel genuinely seen and understood on that level.
That emotional training part.
Mhm.
That feels like the trickiest one. You can set up systems for, silent presence or standardizing details into rituals, but this really seems to depend on actual emotional intelligence, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
It feels less like following rules and more like, well, genuine human connection. Artistry, almost. Yeah.
Exactly. It's the part that most heavily relies on individual empathy, the ability to read subtle human cues. And it really highlights what seems to be the main takeaway from Papcast.
Which is, what do you say?
That the experiences that really stick with us, the ones that leave that lasting positive mark, they often come not from the big explicit interactions, but from the sum total of all these small, often unseen acts of care. It's about the feeling they create, the whole emotional undercurrent.
So basically what we're getting from this look at Papcast is that understanding excellence, especially in service, means really digging into these unspoken, often invisible things that shape how we feel.
Precisely. It's recognizing that the truly memorable stuff often comes down to these quiet, thoughtful details, the ones that say a lot without needing words. It's the power of the unseen, really.
And the potential applications for this go way beyond just fancy hotels or restaurants, don't they?
Yeah.
This whole idea about subtle cues, unspoken communication shaping how people feel, that's relevant almost anywhere.
Oh, definitely. It makes you think, doesn't it? How could these ideas play out in, say, a typical office environment? Or in team collaborations, even just in our everyday personal interactions?
Exactly. Where else in our lives are these unexpressed feelings, these perceptions that aren't spoken out loud, actually making a huge difference? It really does give you something to chew on.
It does. It leaves you wondering,
Yeah.
if you started consciously paying more attention to what the client feels even when you don't see it, or just what anyone feels, really, how might that change how you interact, how you build relationships or create value, professionally or personally, just by tuning into those often overlooked details?